Today, we start with a heavyweight, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the newly appointed Secretary of Health and Human Services. That sounds like a promising new chapter in the health sector, but don't open the champagne just yet. Because this is not a guy known for his medical research, but for making statements that would make the scientific community want to lock itself out of its Twitter account. Like the fact that he once encouraged drinking raw milk. Yes, the kind that you can squeeze and be hospitalized at the same time. And then there's the twist. He once said that roadkill should be added to the national food pyramid. If this is eat fresh in the Subway sense, I'd go hungry. But that's just the warm-up. He is most famous for his belief that vaccines cause autism, a claim that has been debunked countless times by the medical community, but which he insists on entering like roller skates in a hospital. And then, at his first press conference as health minister, he threw another curveball by declaring that autism is a preventable epidemic, thus starting a series of statements that have shocked the community, not only because of the content, but also because of his unbelievable delivery. During that press conference, RFK Jr. said something you might have thought was ripped from a black comedy. Autism destroys families. These kids will never pay their taxes. Yes, you heard right. His biggest concern when it comes to autistic children is not health, socialization, or educational opportunity. It's not paying taxes. I swear if there was an Oscar for world's worst reason to worry, RFK Jr. would win. He didn't stop there and went on to list the things autistic kids will never do. Never have a job, never play baseball, never write poetry, never date. A blow to every basic definition of human rights and of imagination. If you're wondering if he's still alive in 1952, no, it's 2025. And he's at the helm of the nation's healthcare system. Sadly, most of what he says is untrue. Many autistic people not only have jobs, but also run companies, write poetry, date, and even head global tech companies. Yes, Elon Musk. But perhaps RFK Jr. would classify anyone who doesn't like poetry as emotionally dysfunctional. If you think things have gone too far, you haven't. RFK Jr., with great enthusiasm, confidently declared that by September, we will know exactly what causes autism. September, you heard right. Not within years, not after a comprehensive medical study, but within months. It sounded like he was ordering an IKEA sofa, not doing a national epidemiological study. And not, we'll get to the bottom of it. He said it with such conviction that he knew the outcome. That is, an investigation is underway, but there's a culprit, and that culprit, as expected, is likely to be the vaccine. The same old, baseless, and disproven story. Seriously, if this were a reality TV show, the title would be, Who Wants to Be an Epidemiologist Without a Degree? The version produced and hosted by RFK Jr. And to make things even more convincing, RFK Jr. decided to choose a data scientist with a record as clean as old kitchen paper. The person assigned to research the causes of autism was none other than David G., a man who was fined $10,000 and banned from practicing medicine for not having a legal degree. Yes, that's right. The leader of the National Autism Research Project was once found to be practicing medicine without a license. A personnel choice that, at a wedding, you would hire a DJ who specializes in remixing funeral music for fun. The question is, who approves this type of personnel? The answer may be as simple as people who believe vaccines have Wi-Fi. If Robert F. Kennedy Jr. represents the past of classical medicine, then Elon Musk represents the future. And the DMs that no one can handle. According to the Wall Street Journal, Elon started interacting with the cryptocurrency influencer Tiffany Fong on X, the old Twitter. At first, everything was quite normal, liking, commenting, replying to stories. But then, without warning, Elon sent a DM message. Do you want to have a baby with me? Yes. Not invite to dinner, not let's add each other. But do you want to be the mother of my child, even though we've never met? A step beyond the imagination of ChatGPT and Tinder. If RFK Jr. represents the misconceptions about autism, then Elon is living proof that autistic people can absolutely manage a space company and a list of children as long as a string of source code. Let's kick things off with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has just been appointed the U.S. Secretary of Health. A powerful title, yes, but before you start celebrating the future of American medicine, hold on to your stethoscopes. This is not a man best known for publishing peer-reviewed medical breakthroughs. No, RFK Jr. is better known for promoting health ideas so bizarre, they sound like rejected scenes from a reality cooking show. Like his fondness for drinking raw milk, which is about as safe as trying to plug in a toaster while you're in the bathtub. Oh, and let's not forget his brilliant idea that roadkill should be added to the national food pyramid. Seriously, the guy wants to turn America into a Mad Max buffet. But his most famous or infamous belief, that vaccines cause autism, a claim that has been debunked more times than an expired coupon at a tech store. Yet he holds onto it with the passion of a conspiracy theorist on Wi-Fi. And so in his very first press conference as health secretary, RFK Jr. jumped straight into controversy, giving a speech about autism that sent shockwaves across the country. Not just because of what he said, but because he said it out loud, with cameras rolling. During that speech, RFK Jr. made a statement that felt like it was ripped straight from an episode of a dark satire show. Autism destroys families. These are kids who will never pay taxes. Yes, in his mind, the tragedy of autism isn't about healthcare, education, or inclusion. It's the horror of a missed 1040 tax form. He basically framed it like the IRS is crying every time an autistic child is born. But wait, there's more. According to RFK Jr., autistic children will never hold a job, never play baseball, never write poetry, and never go on a date. That's not medical science. That's bad fan fiction with a superiority complex. And it's also wildly inaccurate. Many autistic people do all of those things, and some of them do it better than the rest of us. Some run companies, some are world-class artists, some invent rockets. Hi, Elon. Yet here's RFK Jr. speaking as if he's an authority on what makes life meaningful, and erasing the humanity of millions in the process. And just when you think the train of nonsense is slowing down, RFK Jr. grabs the mic and drops this. By September, we will know what causes the autism epidemic. By September. Like it's an Amazon Prime delivery. He promises a nationwide scientific breakthrough in a few months. A feat that would typically take teams of experts years, even decades. But RFK Jr. says, hold my kombucha, I got this. It's not a search for truth, it's a performance. He's not leading an inquiry. He's narrating a conclusion he already believes. And that conclusion, of course, seems aimed once again at blaming vaccines. Like the plot twist in a movie you've seen 17 times, and it's never satisfying. To lend credibility to his study, RFK Jr. chose as his senior data analyst someone named David G., a man who was fined $10,000 for practicing medicine without a license. That's right, the person leading the government research on autism once impersonated a doctor and got caught. That's like hiring a fake pilot to run flight safety investigations. Or letting a YouTube chef perform open heart surgery because he made a good omelet once. It's so cartoonishly irresponsible that you'd think it was a sketch comedy bit. But it's not. It's real life, and it's government funded. Let's pivot from RFK Jr.'s tragic theater to someone who proves that autistic people can, in fact, do a hell of a lot. Elon Musk. According to the Wall Street Journal, Elon began interacting with crypto influencer Tiffany Fong on X, formerly Twitter. First it was likes, then some replies. Then, out of the digital blue, he DM'd her with this unforgettable message. Would you like to have my child? No hello, no dinner, no date, just straight to genetic legacy. Honestly, even Shakespeare's Romeo would say, bro, chill. They had never met, yet Elon's already trying to co-create a human. This isn't dating, it's decentralized reproduction. In a weird way, Elon is the anti-RFK. Socially awkward, yes, but a living contradiction to every stereotype RFK Jr. spouted. He's autistic, yes, and he's also a billionaire inventor, meme lord, and apparently part-time population strategist. While RFK Jr. is busy offending autistic people, the US Pentagon decided it was time to launch its own cultural crusade by purging books. Not weapons, not bad contracts, but books. Specifically, the Air Force Academy and the Naval Academy have started removing titles related to diversity, equity, inclusion, feminism, civil rights, and even the Holocaust. Meanwhile, one book that somehow still made the cut, Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler. Let that sink in. Books on racial equality? Too political. Books on genocide written by the guy who committed it? Still available. Apparently, the only thing more dangerous than history is empathy. It's the kind of move that makes you wonder if someone accidentally mistook the DEI section for a bomb threat. Because the logic here is, let's fight wokeness by being proudly, loudly, unapologetically ignorant. So what do we take away from all this? We've got a health secretary who thinks autism is a tax evasion scheme, a fake doctor leading national research, a billionaire DMing women like he's speedrunning human reproduction, and a military that fears diversity more than war. If you pitched this storyline to Netflix, they'd say it was too unrealistic. And yet here we are, living it in high definition. The deeper issue? None of this is just comedy fodder. It's a mirror, and what it reflects is terrifying. How fast misinformation can become policy, how easily censorship wears a uniform, and how real the danger becomes when power meets delusion. RFK Jr. isn't just a man with fringe beliefs. He's now a man with influence, a podium, and a government title. Elon Musk isn't just an eccentric. He's reshaping tech, communication, space, and, apparently, his own personal family tree. And meanwhile, stories, the very thing that shape how we see ourselves, are being rewritten, sanitized, or deleted entirely. And the scariest part? People are cheering for it. Because fiction, when done right, feels more comforting than truth. This isn't just a political comedy. This is a dark documentary in disguise. A nation obsessed with individual freedoms, where those freedoms are being rewritten, page by page, tweet by tweet, book by book. So ask yourself, do you want to live in the real world, chaotic, diverse, imperfect, humane? Or do you want the Tyrion White cut, where Snow White is banished, RFK Jr. rewrites biology, and Elon Musk reproduces with Wi-Fi? The choice isn't funny, but maybe, just maybe, laughter is how we begin to fight back.